we are big advocates of holding your rookie picks until the rookie draft, but there are a lot of people that get really good offers for these rookie picks. So if you are going to sell them, and again, we are going to aim high here. It is on purpose. We are aiming for players that are typically valued above these picks, but in the same range as these picks. So for example, if we're selling the 101, we want these players back.
Yeah, we essentially want an overpay. So I'm talking about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is a guy who has fallen significantly in value since he went down with that injury. And honestly, it's pretty merited because we're now 4 seasons in of Joe Burrow's career, and he has only finished 2 of those seasons totally healthy. And honestly, in that Super Bowl run, he looked like he was going to die anyways because that offensive line was so bad. But look, if you can get Joe Burrow straight up in exchange for the 101, we're not a huge fan of like 1-for-1 trades, but if you're getting Joe Burrow, you need to take Joe Burrow.
I'm going to stop you right now. Don't get in the comments and say nobody's doing this.
Yes, they are.
People are doing that because people will get this excited about rookie picks. And again, we're telling you to aim high on purpose. Who else for the 101?
Justin Herbert. I know people are going to say, again, no one's going to do that because Justin Herbert just got John Harbaugh. Yes, you are correct. There's still a lot of uncertainty there.
He's still the 10th ranked player.
He's still the 10th ranked player on Keep Trade Cut, which is in the exact same tier as the 101. I don't think, like, if you disagree with this, I think you probably just don't understand how much people are valuing Marvin Harrison Jr. right now, like as high as their wide receiver 3.
And some people who are intelligent, Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Exactly. So if you can get one of these proven guys with a contract, I know the contract insulation with these mega deals in this new quarterback market are starting to mean less and less in Dynasty from a value perspective because so many more of these QBs are getting those deals. It's not really unique per se anymore, which is why I think you can get someone like Justin Herbert on a really nice value. And then we're going to say CeeDee Lamb here as well. Yeah. So CeeDee Lamb, I mean, in the same tier as what a lot of people would consider Marvin Harrison Jr. if they don't like Caleb and they want to go Marvin, like it's pick your poison, CeeDee or Marvin Harrison Jr. because
CeeDee is what you want Marvin to be.
Exactly.
Really
so why would you pass? I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a really good wide receiver. I think he's going to be a really good player in the NFL. I would be lying to you if I could tell you with a serious face that Marvin Harrison Jr. was going to do at some point what CeeDee Lamb just did this last season.
Regardless of who you're trading your rookie picks for, though, we can help you. And we do that through Team Blueprints, which you get with the Mother Flocker tier on flockfantasy.com/domain. You have to use code domain. You have to choose the Mother Flocker tier, but it's a comprehensive multi-year plan for your Dynasty team. It looks pretty. It's jam-packed with information, and we walk you through the process. Sometimes year process, but a lot of times it's months because a lot of times we can get these teams turned around before the next season. Ooh. But we love to help you with your Dynasty team. We'd love to give you advice. We'd love for you to join the community and get our Dynasty rankings and our articles and our exclusive videos and everything we have to offer. So flockfantasy.com/domain. Like I said, use code domain to unlock it. 102. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has fallen quite a bit, and you're essentially putting Jamar Chase up here against Marvin Harrison Jr. or against Caleb Williams. Jamar Chase is a talent. I mean, first of all, his offense and the landing spot that he is in, like you couldn't dream of a landing spot like that for Marvin Harrison Jr. Jamar Chase is close to as good of a prospect as Marvin Harrison Jr. was. He really is. They were about the same level of prospect. Marvin Harrison Jr. probably has a slight edge there. But if you can get Jamar Chase for the 102, we're absolutely making that deal. Anthony Richardson. This one's tough. Would you take Anthony Richardson to the 102?
Yes, I would. I would take Anthony Richardson over the 101. That's my personal opinion. We have him at the 102 here, though, because at that point, in our opinion, I think it's technically an overpay if you're getting AR.
I would probably take him over the 102 if Caleb Williams went the 101. I lean Caleb Williams still. Caleb Williams is a better prospect. Caleb Williams might not have as good a landing spot with as good a coach. If Eberflus is his coach, then yeah, maybe there's.
I was going to say, would you rather Caleb Williams with the Bears, which is honestly where he's going to go, or do you want AR with Steichen?
I probably AR with Steichen. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
That one's tough, though. But Jamar Chase, for sure. If you can get Jamar Chase with your 102, we're moving off the 102 for Jamar Chase. Trying to maybe even down tier there. But the 103, Kyler Murray. If you can get Kyler Murray for the 103, you are doing that. Because you're talking about Drake May, Malik Neighbors, those guys at the 103. And you're talking about Kyler Murray, a guy who came back not even a year removed from an ACL injury, came back and was averaging like 19 points a game. Like,
why would you do that? He plays Call of Duty.
It's true. You know what we think about Call of Duty, by the way. We made that very clear in one of our last videos. Kyler Murray, we're taking over the 103. Kyler Murray is an elite dual threat quarterback in a Superflex league. When I say elite, I mean fantasy elite. I could give two less craps how he performs from a real-life NFL QB perspective. Why? Because he already has the contract that we would have been looking for if we were actually evaluating that. So Kyler Murray is somebody who has contract insulation, who has rushing upside, who has fantasy point production and a very high floor. I'm taking Kyler. Jahmyr Gibbs is the running back one in Dynasty right now. He is, and he's shown out at every single stage of this season. At the beginning, it was like, oh, no, I'm scared about Monty. In the middle, it's like, oh, no, we were wrong about Monty. And in the playoffs, we're like, who's Monty? It has been quite the progression. But Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the only running backs in the league that can dominate in every aspect of the game. He is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And we're absolutely taking him over the 103. And I'm not even sure, I think people might not even...
I think we're going to get to a point where this is assuming the 103 in a Superflex league is going to be Malik Neighbors. I think the Malik Neighbors hype is only going to increase, and that 103 is going to become more and more valuable to a point where it is value equivalent, if not just a little bit more valuable than Jahmyr Gibbs from a market value perspective. I'm taking Gibbs, man.
Amon-Ra St. Brown as well at the 103. Amon-Ra has had consistently elite fantasy production seasons. At this point, if you're not taking him over the 103, where you're getting somebody who is not guaranteed there, I heavily lean on Amon-Ra here. I think Amon-Ra has deserved it. I think that the situation is going to be good for years to come. I think Jared Goff will be there for a few more years. I like his situation. I like his production, so I'll take proven player in Amon-Ra over somebody who isn't in the NFL yet at the 103. So 104.
There are some players that we've already mentioned that I personally would rank Puka Nacua over, but from his market value in Dynasty Fantasy Football, we can't even mention him until we're talking about the rookie 104 because he's still being shorted for being the most successful, productive rookie wide receiver in the history of the National Football League. Give me Puka Nacua over anyone who goes at the 104. It is personally, it is not. It's not close for me. Jordan Love at the 104. It's kind of funny to me that it took the last 4 weeks of the regular season for people to finally figure out that Jordan Love was playing well. He's been playing well for longer than that, but hey, it's okay. We're finally all on the same page there because Jordan Love is going 1-2 turn at the highest that we've seen. If you can get Jordan Love as what was technically an overpay in exchange for the 104, give me Jordan Love all day. He's a top 12 Dynasty wide receiver, and he actually, it's crazy to say this because he's only started 1 year and it was technically his rookie season. It wasn't his rookie. Yes, it was. He's going to become one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL with this new this new market for QBs.
Yeah, he will. At the 105, targeting Sam Laporta here. Sam Laporta, the tight end one in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Somebody who has, again, like Jahmyr Gibbs, come out and shown out all year as a rookie. He was ridiculous from a production standpoint this year. And honestly, there is not a tight end I'd rather have. So if you're getting the best tight end in the game at the 105, you can say, who are you getting there? Bowers? Laporta is who you want Bowers to be. This is how you want Bowers to turn out. 5th in targets, 6th in target share, 5th in target rate, 4th in air yards, 6th in air yard share, 11th in deep targets, 4th in receptions, 5th in receiving yards, 3rd in unrealized air yards. There's that. 1st in touchdowns, 3rd in fantasy points per game. Tight end one. You can get him for the 105. That's he's being valued next to the 105 right now on
16
every
and a half,
community rankings.
16.5 points per game in tight end premium leagues as a rookie tight end.
Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson was a little bit underappreciated this year because, honestly, what he was able to do with that mess of a situation was kind of impressive. I still am very excited to see Garrett Wilson with Aaron Rodgers. And I think you should be too, because Garrett Wilson has proved what he's capable of. He's still only 23 and a half years old. He was 4th in targets this year in the entire league. 1st in routes run. 1st in routes run. 10th in air yards. 3rd in air yard share. 10th in deep targets. 9th in red zone targets. 4th in unrealized air yards. 4th in unrealized air yards. 32nd in fantasy points per game. So where was the production? Touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns all year. Garrett Wilson is commanding targets at an elite rate. He's winning routes at an elite rate. 11th in route wins in the NFL. You can get him for the rookie 105. That's who we're aiming for. And then Trevor Lawrence. This one, you might think, oh, Trevor Lawrence, he's dead, blah, blah, blah. Odds are Trevor Lawrence is going to get paid. And when Trevor Lawrence does get paid, his value will maintain in Dynasty. He's averaged 17 points per game in the last 2 years. And the difference was last year he ended on a good note. This year he ended on a bad note. So the public perception of Trevor Lawrence has drastically changed from one offseason to another, when in reality, his stats were nearly identical. Nearly identical. 584 attempts to 564. 4,113 passing yards to 4,016 passing yards. So 100 different. 66 completion percentage, 65. 7 yards per attempt, 7.1 yards per attempt. He had more rushing yards this year and only one less rushing touchdown.
It was the anticipated jump to elite that he just never reached, which is why he lost value.
Which is fine. Like, he doesn't have to be an elite, like, top-tier producing fantasy quarterback. But for the rookie 105, target that. That's still somebody you're going to be building around for multiple years in your dynasty team. 106.
Yeah. Once we get to the 106, we're probably at this point talking about Brock Bowers or Rome Odunze. And at that point, give me A.J. Brown. He's a second-round dynasty startup pick, but he is falling because a lot of people are low on the Eagles. I think he will get to a point where he won't really fall any further, maybe towards the middle to the tail end of the second round because of the Kellen Moore hiring. I am here to tell you that I think A.J. Brown has hit his points per game production ceiling, which is about wide receiver 6 or 7. Finished as a wide receiver 7 in points per game this year. I don't think he'll go any higher than that. I think Kellen Moore is a mediocre offensive coordinator at best and does not play the strengths of the players in that offense or any offense he's ever been in. So that being said, A.J. Brown can transcend any situation, and he is the dominant, true alpha wide receiver, one of the few in the NFL right now, and he can absolutely produce just like he did last year. I just don't think it's going to be higher than that, which is why I think him falling in value has been a little bit merited. But at the 106, man, as low as some people are on A.J. Brown, I think we may be overcorrecting a bit, and you might want to capitalize on that opportunity. You're talking about a wide receiver that is in the midst of a 4-year, $100 million deal. And then I'm going to go with Chris Olave here as well. Kind of like Garrett Wilson, an underwhelming second season because of how disgusting the situation has been. And honestly, it might be disgusting next year too, with Derek Carr most likely again in New Orleans. But that said, I trust Chris Olave to transcend situation just like A.J. Brown. I think with another year in his pocket, he'll be able to produce more than he did his second year. I'm very confident in it, to be honest. And I like his price here at the 106. He's more proven and more capable, I think, than any of the rookie wide receivers that are going to be going in this range.
107, T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson is probably our tight end 2 in Dynasty. Somebody who recency bias has really taken its toll on. Obviously got hurt. Has to recover now from the knee injury, and you can get him significantly cheaper than what you would have been able to get him for had he not gotten hurt.
Sad for him, good for us.
And the fact of the matter is, let's not forget TJ Hawkinson had an amazing year. And he not only came in and maintained the production that he kind of started last year after he got traded, he actually improved on that production. 960 receiving yards in 15 games, 95 receptions, 10 yards per reception, and 5 touchdowns. He was second in fantasy points per game, 15. Second in targets, first in target share.
More in tight end premium.
Yeah, more in target premium. Tight end premium. First in target share, second in target rate, 8th in snap share, 7th in routes run, second in air yards. Where's the unrealized air yards? I want to see that. Second in unrealized area. The opportunity is ridiculous for Hawkinson.
Yeah.
He's just elite. Target him there at the 107. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua's already sliding. He's already dropped a ton on keep trade cut in the past 7 days because why?
For why?
For why?
4-2, why?
Somebody explain. 69, nice. Completion percentage this year, 69%.
Very nice.
4,200 passing yards, 4,600 passing yards, my apologies. 29 passing touchdowns. And he's dropping.
I am a notable, not huge fan of Tua. Avery is a lot higher on Tua than I am. If I can get Tua at this price, I'm absolutely capitalizing on that. Where else do they have to turn? Yeah, they don't have to sign him to a contract this year. I anticipate they will because he can run their offense very well when they're at full strength. And that's kind of the big if or when they're at full strength. This team just did not. They didn't finish well because of they had to have by far been the most injured team when it was all said and done at the end of the year.
Yeah.
They had no defense left. Tyreek Hill was banged up. Jalen Waddle was in and out. Achane, he couldn't stay on the field because he's tiny. It was just not a good situation for anyone at the end of the season, and I'm optimistic that it can be better next year.
Brock Purdy. Yes, you still have people that say Brock Purdy's overrated, that he's a game manager, like it's some kind of insult. That he's not good enough. I mean, yeah, his value will go up because he's making the Super Bowl because of the recency bias thing in Dynasty. But this is the pick where he's valued next to. I'm hardcore targeting him here. 19.5 points per game this year. He's the QB 6 in points per game. So Purdy's good value. And then Tyreek Hill.
Ew, he's 30. He's old.
Hey, take 2 years of winning your Dynasty championship over trying to get out on somebody early. Please. And thank you. 107 for Tyreek Hill. My gosh, guys. I mean, what else do we want in Dynasty?
We want the cool.
This drives me nuts.
We want the cool new.
This drives me nuts, man. I know we play in 3-year windows. 2 out of 3 years, pretty good, even if he does retire. There is also a chance he doesn't. And I don't see him becoming less productive right now, next year, or even the year after. He looks amazing. This year, he was the best wide receiver in the NFL, in the entire NFL. Metrics do not apply to him. The drop-off, trying to find where he's going to drop off, they do not apply to Tyreek Hill. Period. That's all I'm going to say about it. Go ahead.
So the 108 is a huge anticipated teardrop at the moment. The teardrop could end up being between the 106 and the 107, or it could end up being the 108 to the 109, depending on draft capital. We really don't know yet, but as of now, in the end of January, going into February, this is our anticipated teardrop. And there's kind of those fringe running backs where people are kind of scared of touching them because of their situation or their age or they're on a second contract. If you can get Kyron Williams or Jonathan Taylor straight up for the 108, and it can happen, you need to capitalize on that opportunity now. We just did a recent mock draft or a startup draft, I think last Friday, and the amount of running backs that went the first 5 rounds, I think was like 6 total. And then there was just a ton going in like the 8th to 12th round. It was crazy. It was really funny to see. But Kyron Williams and JT are kind of on the tail end of those like top 6 running backs that are going high. And honestly, I trust them in their situations just as much as I do anyone else going in that range. And they're at the cheapest price. You need to capitalize on that opportunity now. Justin Fields at the 108. This is a market move. Are we sold on Justin Fields, the player? No. I honestly don't know if I ever will. I honestly don't know how long he will be a starting quarterback in the NFL. We'll see. He's very athletic, though, and he has a ton of rushing upside.
Baseline 3 more years,
Probably.
And we play in 3-year windows.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's just to a point now where he's affordable. He's not really being treated like a cornerstone asset because there is so much risk. But if the Bears are dumb enough to recommit to him and get him a wide receiver, it's going to be a better situation.
Yep.
And if they're smart enough to trade him away and send him to Atlanta, I would love that situation as well. We're talking about his rushing upside here. There's a ton of value with rushing QBs. Take him at the cheap and at the 108.
All right, so the 109, Jalen Waddle's a guy who's fallen a lot. He's being valued adjacent next to the 109 right now. Absolutely taking Waddle there. You're talking about almost dart throw territory.
He's fallen
Tank
so
Dell
much.
as well. Tank Dell is fallen because he got injured. He'd be going in the 3rd right now had he not gotten injured. Taking Tank Dell there over the 109 all day. Zay Flowers still being valued adjacent to the 109. Not really understanding this one. I think you're easily taking Flowers, and I think his value jumps after the playoff game. And then JSN. JSN, a lot of people are asking like 106 or JSN, 107 or JSN. But again, we're going to aim higher. We're going to go 109. If you can move your 109 for JSN, I'd even say 108. If you can move your 109 for JSN, you need to be doing it. JSN's going to ball out this year. Trust me.
Yep. At the 110, let's go with Trey McBride and Dalton Kincaid. Yes, there's questions about the offensive turnover in Arizona because of how just depleted of a team they are. Trey McBride is going to remain, and if Marvin Harrison Jr. goes there, I'd have maybe some concerns, but honestly, at the end of the day, that might just help open up the field for Trey McBride to get more targets. So really comfortable with the situation there, and a ton of passing volume with Kyler Murray, who apparently sucks at football. And then Dalton Kincaid, how can you doubt a tight end that's tied to Josh Allen who can actually catch the ball? I'm talking about like the anti-Dawson Knox, and that's Dalton Kincaid. Like, he has the ability to be a dominant premier tight end in the NFL. I think he's been overshadowed by the elite production that Sam Laporta has showcased in Detroit as a rookie, when in reality, Dalton Kincaid as a rookie tight end, I would not have predicted him producing like this as a rookie tight end. It's very, very rare, very impressive. We may be seeing a landscape at the tight end position kind of changing in these new style of offenses, and maybe they're becoming more NFL ready. But good year for Dalton Kincaid. He had some really nice, promising stretches. T. Higgins, if you can get any late first for T. Higgins, I have seen T. Higgins go for an early second plus some change.
What?
Please take T. Higgins with any of these picks, 110 to 112, early second. You need to get him before he goes back up in value. Any situation he lands in, I don't care how disgusting it looks, he will be the wide receiver 1. He will. That's what everyone's been waiting for. That's why people ranked him as a top 5 dynasty wide receiver last year when he was tied to Joe Burrow. Everyone was obsessed with it, and he's playing alongside Jamar Chase. He's going to have so much more opportunity this next year. Yes, this is assuming he doesn't re-sign with the Bengals. I think all signs point to him not going back. So
I think so as well. 111, Jared Goff. Jared Goff will sign a big contract here soon. He'll remain with the Lions in a good offensive situation with lots of good weapons. He's a great value in Superflex League, so if you can get Jared Goff for the 111, do it because he'll be worth the 108 before the offseason's up for sure. Yeah. Mark Andrews as well. I got Mark Andrews as cheap as like the 7th round in a recent startup, which is about where the 111 is going. 111 maybe goes a little bit higher. Mark Andrews is an elite tight end. I know he hasn't had the most promising showings recently, but that's why he's this cheap. And we still do believe in him long-term. We think he's going to add to your dynasty team long-term, so we'll take him over the 111 as well.
Yeah, and Jaden Reed at the 112 is who we're going to target here. He's a guy that's been continually rising, but I think he's going to plateau as the shadow of Christian Watson will always be over him as long as Christian Watson is in Green Bay. And that's great for Jaden Reed's price. Everyone's still hung up on Christian Watson being the alpha wide receiver, when in reality, Avery and I always knew that he was a deep threat. We tried to tell you, and we said Jaden Reed was going to be primarily the target hog at the slot wide receiver position, and lo and behold, as a wide receiver in a offense that was really had a lot of questions as a rookie, he was alpha.
You better be careful. We're not allowed to victory lap anything.
He was the absolute alpha in Green Bay's offense. I don't think that changes. I think he is Jordan Love's guy for the foreseeable future. Tyjae Spears is going to be our last guy here at the 112. I know he's been on the rise. He's up to, I think on Keep Trade Cut, like running back 15, yeah. 14. That still isn't that valuable in this running back landscape in Dynasty Fantasy Football right now. I think a lot of people would jump on the opportunity of getting an insulated first-round pick in exchange for Tyjae Spears. I'm telling you, you'll probably be very happy that you got Tyjae Spears at this price when it's all said and done, when we're in the middle of the 2024 regular season.
All right, let's go ahead and answer some comments right now. Who's making these trades? Nobody's trading these picks for these players.
Yes, they are.
People are doing them. We've seen it. We play in more Dynasty leagues, and we help more people with their trades than you do, probably, unless you're another creator. What else would people say?
You guys suck.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Again, we're aiming high here. We are aiming high on purpose because we do not want you to trade your rookie picks. But if you get these guys, then maybe you could.
This is basically our asterisk episode.
That is exactly what it is.
Because we always say don't trade your rookie picks.
Don't trade your rookie
picks.
Well,
here's us telling you when to trade your rookie picks. These are your exceptions.
Thanks, Chewy.
There you go.
All right. Make sure you drop a like on this video and make sure you
picks.
your Wookie picks. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have the best Dynasty content on the planet of Kashyyyk. Appreciate you guys so much. Thanks, and we'll see you later.